Srikrishna Purushottama Prabhu is a highly convicted devotee. He became a devotee based on receiving books and reading them and realizing how important they were in his life. He wanted to make them available in everyone else's life. He came here to ISKCON Silicon Valley, much to our great fortune, several years ago. And more than several years ago, it's been like 15 years? 12 years. And in the first month he was here, he said, with tears in his eyes, he said, I have to move back to India. And he had a few tears in his eyes, and we were weeping constantly. And until a month later, he came back with a big smile and said, somehow or other, I got sent back here. And he's been here 12 years, for the last 12 years, since that time. We've seen why he came back here, because our mission here at ISKCON Silicon Valley is to be a proving ground, to develop means to distribute books and then export them all over the world. So Sri Krishna Purushottama Prabhu has been instrumental in doing that here at ISKCON Silicon Valley, and therefore instrumental in spreading Krishna consciousness through book distribution all over the world. He's a great stalwart, and this morning he's going to talk about how to distribute sets of Srimad Bhagavatam, a topic that he is, among a few other devotees here at ISV, a pioneer in. He's developed means through which the devotees here have sold unprecedented numbers of sets of Srimad Bhagavatams. So I could go on and on about Sri Krishna Purushottama because I have so much affection for him, but I'll let him speak for himself. Please welcome Sri Krishna Purushottama.
Om Ajnanandatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshulilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Srila Prabhupada ki. So, actually, Vaisheshika Prabhu, what he spoke is, we all learned from him. He is book distribution Acharya. Starting from Ishopanishad to Chaitanya Charitamrita, he personally taught us, everybody in this room, I would say, not the new people, but he gave us each and every one by one training to do either Ishopanishad or starting with Srimad Bhagavatam. First time when we are doing Chaitanya Charitamrita, we called Vaisheshika Prabhu from the car. Prabhu, we never done Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the first time in Foster City. Shraddha Mataji is with me. He said, it's the same thing. You have to present Bhagavatam as like Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's just present it, go with out force. And with the first energy, we knocked the first door. And I remember till now, Vaisheshika Prabhu said, just do it. And then the first person we knocked, he took a Chaitanya Charitamrita set. So it's all because of you, Prabhu. We are here, and thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So I'll just, everybody in this room know how to distribute a Srimad Bhagavatam set, but I will just go through the simple tips, and it's an interactive session. And Malini Mataji is also co-Sankirtan leader. She's expert. You can ask questions at the end. Please, last 15 minutes or 10 minutes we'll have questions. So Srimad Bhagavatam is, when we started this Bhagavatam program in ISV, that we don't know how to do the sets, you know. So this is the first time we got a lot of sets. We used to do small books, but when we asked Vaisheshika Prabhu, he said, sell bunches like bananas. Yesterday he said, distribute, package it nicely. We used to package small books and put in front of the houses, knock the doors like that. But once we got Srimad Bhagavatam sets, you know, our book distribution energy, devotees going out together, it's becoming widely, people are like seeing at ISV how we are distributing Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Get enough language sets. We have Telugu, we have Kannada, we have Gujarati, Bengali, and also getting Marathi Srimad Bhagavatam sets. We get all books in different languages. So we also have a, sorry, can you get one? We have the all languages, and also we have display copies. So what is mean by display copy? Like, you know, we have this, thank you. We have this 18 books set, 18 books in one set. So if we go into a door, it's overwhelming to see entire set. People will, oh, this many books, we cannot take it. So what we do is we carry one of the display book. Make sure that you don't, you know, take this book and put it somewhere. It should be part of that set. And we have this problem earlier. But this Bhagavatam is, we carry in if you have 3-4 devotees with you, we carry and show these books as individual copies. And the display book should not be sealed like this. It should be opened so that it's comfortable in front of them. If you just do all, they will be distracted. So we just open it and then show. I'll come to that point later. So use is a beautiful tools. We carry all kinds of tools, and also when you carry, we need to, like, you know, high-tech stuff. I have this Bluetooth card reader. So carry all useful tools. Vaisheshika Prabhu especially emphasize to carry or buy whatever required for Sankirtan. So you must organize. So maintain a database locations. We have expert devotees at ISV. Shamalangi Mataji, Shivakumar Prabhu, Shukeshwari Mataji. They maintain a wonderful spreadsheet which is having all kinds of locations, which school districts it belongs to, where you know, you name it, they have the right insights. Plan ahead of time. We have every Thursday a call. And, you know, in that call, we discuss which spot going, and we have a WhatsApp group, and it's encouraging entire community coming together and discussing about where we are going out. And you can have a personal relationship with realtors. You can talk to them, get a good spot. And in a Sunday feast, somebody new people comes. Can we come to your place and make them special, so that they will be, you know, invite you to their place. And balance and complement is very, very important. When you go on Sankirtan, it's good to have few Matajis and Prabhujis together, because when we knock the door, they should be comfortable, you know. So if they see me in a dhoti kurta, and, you know, one time one lady called me, can you check my palm? So I said, you know, I can check, but you please take Bhagavatam. So so finally she agreed to take Srimad Bhagavatam. But anyway, so people have different, when we go there, knock the doors, they have different mindsets. There are so many things going on. There's only get one Saturday, Sunday. Some people are living in mountain house. You know, many things going on their life. We should be very comfortable with them when we knock the door. So that's why balance and complement is very, very important, you know. So, and also, when somebody is speaking, please be quiet and give them a chance. And even though we know what he's speaking, but we should be silent, you know. So we should jump, and also we need to ask them to speak, you know, the recipient. When we knock the door, please ask them, where are you from? The hooks part we'll discuss in the next session. But just listen to them. Vaisheshika Prabhu said in one of the seminar, be a good listener. Even though they say about Himalayas, you know, they will discuss many topics, because they want some people to talk. You know, they'll ask you to come inside, and last weekend when we knock a door, he's doing taxes. And he said, oh, this is the last day, but you came. So you'll take half an hour time. Like that, he was talking all the questions. But his wife is very interested, and he asked, okay, please come on in, and then his wife started. So like that, you have to make them open up. Once they open up, then it's very easily you can connect them. So the more you show, the more you sell. Yesterday, Vaisheshka Prabhu touched a little bit about on this. The mood, connection, presentation, and donation. So this is only 4 topics we'll discuss. Mood is a constant meditation. Srimad Bhagavatam is Srila Prabhupada brought Bhagavatam to Western world, and he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam first canto in India. So you know how much he emphasized to read Srimad Bhagavatam to Western audience or anybody in this world. So we need to make that constant meditation on each and every devotee and glorify and his devotees. Some people ask, oh, Bhagavatam is the same or Bhagavad Gita is the same, because they don't know the difference. But we should not laugh at them, We should say very peacefully explain, oh, you have a Bhagavad Gita, it's not a Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is about Krishna and Krishna devotees. And and you need to present it in a humble way, Even though every door we meet is a different kind of human being. We should remember that, they are in different mode. So we need to respect whatever their mode in, and we should not disrespect, So I will tell all the time, even though I am wearing dhoti kurta, I am, I don't know, I'm also learning. I am finished Bhagavatam, but I'm reading again and again. So you need to make them very comfortable. So and glorify Krishna and Krishna devotees, that is about Bhagavatam. And we are just putting the seeds. One time I remember we went to Foster City. First time he took Ishopanishad small books. So next year we went, and he is still in the same apartment. And he took at that time Srimad Bhagavatam. Third time we went, and he was walking on the same apartment outside. And I asked him, oh, what you got this time for me? So we gave him Chaitanya Charitamrita. Fourth time he took Gaur-Nitya deities. So this is Mahaprabhu is waiting, as we are just Nimitta Matas. We are just instruments. We are just going, presenting, which we are not doing it, is Krishna is doing us. And Srila Prabhupada is empowering to do this mission. And the connection. This is a very, very important part of your presentation. Please introduce yourself. Always Malini Mataji say, we are software engineers. I work in eBay, she works in Genentech. Then I'll say, we are going like a Vishnu Sahasranam, telling each and every name. But you just introduce, make them comfortable. So this, the connection part is very important. And as Vaisheshka Prabhu mentioned yesterday, Go Matsya, this is from last 1 year, we are having a lot of increase in the book distribution, also in the Lakshmi part. People are contributing to this, and when you ask them to be a part of some project, first they say, oh, it's a project, I have to commit my time. No. The best part of being a Go Matsya project, that you are taking these books, preservation, preservation of knowledge. We say that this entire Vedic knowledge is dying, So please be part of our Go Matsya project, and we explain about what is Matsya, and a little bit the incarnation. But if they are not interested, don't go into. You just tell, this is straight away, this is a Vedic knowledge. We are Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit. If you see some Vaishnavas, or if you see some already they are like shlokas, you can quote some shlokas also at that time. Idam Bhagavatam Namam Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishihi Nishreyasya Lokasya Dhanyam Svasti Ainam Mahat. So it comes from Srimad Bhagavatam. So you can quote like a few shlokas if they are interested. And we need to know their mood. So, and use a question to hook. So you can ask, Prabhu, which part of India you are from? Hyderabad. So you can say Lord Narsingh Dev is there near Hyderabad. It's called Yadagiri Gutta. You just know a little geography of India. And where are you from, Prabhu? UP, Uttar Pradesh. You say Vrindavan is in UP. So you make them, you use some words, Govardhan, like, little bit, right? You are Krishna devotee. So like that, and anywhere. Mataji, you belongs to which part of India? So which part? Salem, okay. We have Ramanujacharya and also Shankaracharya from Kerala. So we can explain, from the saints, local saints, you connect them and their mood is very important. This is a question. And also talk to their language, local language. Fortunately, we have a lot of Telugu here when we go together, Mali Mataji, myself. So lot of people we meet, it's Krishna's arrangement. We meet those kinds of people and we give those books. I remember I was in Toronto with Mali Mataji. We are going in a Sankirtan and I was in a different team. When we knock one door and he is a Tamilian and is a priest and also he works in a software engineer. And we didn't do anything. We just went 4 or 5 devotees. He's already have a big altar, huge altar, so I never seen such a big altar in a house. And then we sat in front of that and we glorified, he belonged to Paramacharya, one of the saint in South India. We glorified and after that he said, you are preaching the Sanatan Dharma, I will also take. And his son came. So what he did, he took a Tamil set and later, and his son came and we are talking to son. He can read in English, Bhagavatam also. He said, do you have English also? Yeah, definitely. So we gave all the things, 2 sets and he gave 780 Canadian dollars for us. So it works. You have to be present. You have to be part of, just be there. Just be there with the devotees. And when you knock a door, you can be instrument of Srila Prabhupada. And as I said, glorify the saints. And many saints are there. This is Tukaram Maharaj and Sripad Ramanujacharya. Like that, you can glorify the saints which they belongs to. So if you don't know them, I can talk to them. I can talk to me offline. I can tell about some little saints so that you can have to, like for example, you belongs to Tirumala, you can talk about Annamacharya. Like that, So if you belongs to Bengal, you can talk about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like that. So connect with the holy places. It's very important to connect with any holy place they may belongs to. Just by listening the place name, they will connect with you. So connect with the holy place, connect with the company, connect with the, whatever they like. So you just need to connect. And test the ripe fruits. We are not, just Naveen Nirad Prabhu said, there are many, many houses, not only one house. Don't stick to one house. You draw a line, okay. And also don't judge at the same time. When you judge them, they won't take the books, Just, this person is not interested. Don't put into any expectations in your heart. Just go as a natural flow. Bar down your expectations. Make sure that, you are there will be a pressure, right? They will be taking, they are not taking. Don't just put expectations, just go there. Last weekend when we went, when we glorifying him and he gave only $108. And we didn't say anything. We just, okay, thank you very much. And please read these books. And after 9 p.m., he called me. Said, are you around this area? Yes, I am still here distributing. Then I said, come over. Sorry, I misheard that it's a $250 donation. I gave only $108 and then he gave me $200 more. So it's all, we got $316. For one Bhagavatam. Just to, we should not judge people. That's what I'm trying to say. Please be instruments of Mahaprabhu. Please that we should be very, very humble. Vaisheshika Prabhu asked, when sometimes people just shut the door off, just close the door. But we need to be very humble. Even though they shut the door, next door, he will invite you and take the Bhagavatam like that. And please be always humble. The presentation part is very important, and everybody in the team, just when they're presenting, you can show the pictures, and I would always say, and also make them comfortable when you present it. And by conversation, you can find out he is more into science. Then you can ask others to speak, because I am also not a science person. So Shiva Kumar Prabhu or somebody will speak, and there will be many devotees with you, right? So make them everybody special in the team, so that they can speak. And also I say Bhagavatam is if Krishna takes a lion form, is which avatar? Narasimha avatar. If you take a fish, Matsya avatar. If you take a form of a book, is called Grantha avatar. Is Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam. So you can present this to this books like that, and then they will feel very comfortable. Oh, I am taking Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam. And Bhagavatam is in a maturity state. You know, Vyasadeva wrote these books in a maturity state. And glorify according to your own realizations. Don't go by script. Be natural. You can present it like you just. I'm sure everybody read Srimad Bhagavatam here, but just remember what you read and glorify according to their interest. So, yeah, I don't go to Advent of Bhagavatam because everybody know we just give little more points. So, as Srimad Bhagavatam is, also people are not comfortable if you belong to certain religion or certain cults. We say even though ISKCON is there, but Bhagavatam is there before ISKCON. Bhagavatam is there from way 5,000 years before, but Srila Prabhupada translated Bhagavatam 18,000 slokas into English. There is no other saint translated this knowledge into English. And then if you say that, they'll say this is authenticity. And Krishna is compiled by Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. And also you can show his name on the book in front of them. Only Prabhupada translated into English. And you can also tell there are 4,500 verses talks about Lord Krishna. So out of 18,000, there are 4,500 verses. You can see Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. And also you can explain what is Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. Krishna is Lord Krishna himself. Dvaipayana means island. And where Vyasa means who split the Vedas into multiple parts. So that's why his name is Vyasa. And you can just tell few things, they will be very happy to know the meaning. And also you say Narada. What is the meaning of Narada? Narada means who gives Narayan. Dha means giving, Nara means Narayan. So like that you explain few of the meanings to them. They will be very interested to know more about it. How come you know all these things? And no, we don't know anything, we just read from Srimad Bhagavatam. So like that. So, and and we set the scene. We set the scene like, and also please don't alone speak. Please others also make sure that, you give. And some people need to also talk some other things, You have some picture in their house. And I remember one time, one lady, I was walking on the street, I like your necklace, I told. And she gave it to me. You take it. So, in Half Moon Bay, I said, I didn't ask for your necklace, I came for to give a book. But people are very, they want to give something, so make sure that you give Bhagavatam to them. So you set a scene to them, and once you set the scene of how Srimad Bhagavatam came, how Vyasadeva is also Vayasaki, He was Vyasadev's son is Vayasaki. His name is. You tell there is a temple here in South India in Chennai. Shivakumar Prabhu always there is a Sukha Brahmarshi's temple is there. Like that, you just connect with them with the Vyas, because many people they don't know Srimad Bhagavatam, unfortunately. So that's why even we are touching 20 houses per week each group. We have many houses in Bay Area to go. So and simplifying complex philosophy, and keep philosophy short. If they are interested, please go on to explain. So make it less than 45 minutes so that they can do grocery shopping later. So, and also the authenticity of Srimad Bhagavatam, it's very authentic. And we always quote this, how Bhagavatam is like when woman is pregnant. In the Bhagavatam, it explains that don't eat pungent items, it will affect the baby. And we can say that energy coming from what you read at the time of pregnancy will go to the baby. Like that, if you explain the authenticity of Bhagavatam, everything is there. I also always quote this. In 7th canto, 4 chapters is there, how to live a good family life. You know, you can read about it. It's like Narada Muni explained to Yudhishthir Maharaj. So all this authenticity, they will know by just reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And captivating stories, I think all kids knows this Gajendra Moksham story and Ajamyal story, like that. And kids love it. This is the favorite part. Every house, those who have kids, they'll say, okay, I always say, oh, we went in your neighborhood, there are 25 people took Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course they took it, but we just tell little more so that people can be more comfortable taking that books. And your neighbor also took it. Oh, they say, oh, we'll do combined study. No. This Bhagavatam should be there in your house. This, according to Vastu, your house will be purified by just having Bhagavatam. So, and the kids love it. And we also choose a good school district when we take it. It also lays good foundation. And we interviewed one of the teacher in the school district in Cupertino. She said how these kids are speaking good words, like a transcendental, and all very great words. And you need a dictionary to translate those. Then we told this Bhagavatam which we are distributed 482 sets in Cupertino. So these are laying in their houses, people are reading it and kids reading it, and make them to read. When you knock a door, we always give the book to the kid. Can you read? He said, how comfortable he is reading. Please take it, like that. So then they will all feel, they will ask the children, oh, are you okay to read all 18 books? Yes, yeah, of course, we will read. so like that, and cope up with peer pressure. Of course, even though there are a lot of Indian communities here, but they have a lot of peer pressure. Shivasa, you have a peer pressure? No. No, at the school, you have a peer pressure. Can you give a microphone? Oh, Hare Krishna.
Peer pressure as in like...
So, for example, you are preparing for exams or something in the school, you have a bad energy, right? Like, people asking come for a party, that you have a peer pressure. Do you have?
Peer pressure in the sense that people just expect you to be different. Okay. Because, yeah, that's it.
So, you say this is a good peer pressure, which is Bhagavatam explains you to mold them, give him the good culture from the beginning, So you no need to, people if say children read these books, they don't read it. So you can explain them, put it in their rooms, these books, they can read by themselves. And that itself, it's a preaching, and it will lay a good, strong foundation for them, like that. So answer difficult questions, Bhagavatam will give, and enrich vocabulary, I already mentioned. So we show a living examples, Ravi Gupta, who is also Radhika Raman Prabhu. He is a living saint who is went to the Oxford at the age of 21 to complete his PhD. So we show them. One time I was speaking about him. The lady, wait a minute, he went to inside and got his iPad and really searched Ravi Gupta, which I am telling the truth or not. And she read it, and she trusted me, and she didn't ask any questions. Give me a set. So that means when we present it, of course we present the truth, but people will be checking, so and engage the whole family. You can say, you can do a bedtime reading. All the kids will be reading as a bedtime reading. This is a real part. When you are presenting Srimad Bhagavatam, at the middle of your conversation, somebody in your group need to say, this costs $250, so that they'll have some expectations. And by listening all the presentation, they may say, oh no, it's too much money, and we have a budget, we have a family budget. They'll come up with many questions, but we'll cover that in the next sessions. But donation, ask for donation. And say, we'll accept Master, Visa, American Express, all credit cards, and we accept checks. And last time when I show this person, you are a high-tech monk, he said to me. when we carry this kind of tools, they know we are in Silicon Valley, and everybody knows we are high-tech monks. And it comes as a set. They say, okay, I'll just take the one book. Recently, we found out that's a common thing. Just I'll read one book and I'll read rest. But usually this is, we say Krishna's Bhagavatam is Krishna's, the complete body, right? The first canto is the feet of Krishna, 10th canto is the face of Krishna, and we'll explain about this. And they'll still say, oh, don't compile me, don't put a pressure to me to read. Then we'll say, okay, we will, we do at the last end, we'll keep one book for you and we'll keep the rest of the set with us and you just start reading it. But we generally don't encourage this one, but people will definitely take it. I was talking to one Bengali family. He said, I'll take one book, and we're still going on with the presentation. At the end said, okay, then I'll take all 18 books, don't worry. You just keep it there. So like that, you just need to make them, how Bhagavatam will change their life. How Bhagavatam is very important. It's like a ripe fruit, You see mango, if you eat anywhere, it's sweet. Bhagavatam is like that. It's anywhere, it's sweet. And make a spiritual investment. Only today, I always say, we have Akshay Triti went 2 days before, and Ekadashi is coming. So after that, Narsingha Chaturdasi is coming, and since we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we have unlimited festivals. Out of 365 days, 364 days are festivals. Only one day we leave. But I'm just saying, we can present it. It's only special today. Please take it. And they will definitely like this. And use credit cards. As I meant, we accept all the pay by installments. We can ask Srikrishna Mataji yesterday said how she started collecting. I think Kameshwari Mataji also, they put on the, we have to do it on the spot because they'll forget. So we usually, let's help you to set up a PayPal recurring deposit like that. So, and this is also very best part, and I'm running out of the time, but I'll just finish very quickly. Installing Srimad Bhagavatam at their houses. This house I went in Dublin, so they put Krishna in the laundry room. And but I said, you getting Srimad Bhagavatam, find a good room for Krishna. You'll definitely. Then he immediately accepted, and after installation, he feels so comfortable and very happy to give the money to me or money to us, a check. Because he said that, the Bhagavatam installation will purify entire ether in their house. They never done any kirtan. When all the devotees started kirtan, right? Performing the worship to Srimad Bhagavatam. And also engage them. You don't, only you do. Ask them also do. Just wash their hands. And also bring them, ask them to bring the incense. Everybody are comfortable, One time I asked, can we do installation? She said, wait for 10 minutes. Why? I said, I have to take bath. And she went up and took bath, and we are chanting our rounds. After she coming, she took Srimad Bhagavatam like that. And also referrals is very important. You ask their recipients, do you refer somebody? Yesterday Malini Mataji told about that. So installation is also very important. And follow-up. Follow-up, we take their contacts. We have a group called Sankirtan Contacts Group. And Shalva Prabhu, if your devotees will add that to our mailing list and make this contact very fast. People are not comfortable. So give me your phone number and just share the location. We are started taking addresses also, people's address, home address, so that we can send some gift to them later. So always leave a good impression, very, very important. Don't argue, even though they say anything, we just, as Vaisheshka Prabhu says, there is a switch here, just turn it off for a few minutes and then turn on later. So comebacks. Okay, I say, they say, and you say, you can read. Anybody can take one. No space. You want to read that? So it is spiritual Vastu. You have Srimad. I also tell this example. If Devaki is in the womb, Krishna is in the womb of Devaki, they worshipped the womb. All the Devatas in the night time, they came and worshipped. So like that, Bhagavatam is at our house, Devatas will worship your house. So, and they will, oh really? So definitely they will take it and they have the good fortune. No time. So, and we also, this time we can show the app, productive app. It's done by Namasparan Prabhu and team. And we show how many pages you read, 5 pages per day, 10 pages, like that you can show that entire graph to them. No interest. Yes, I don't need to explain that one. No money. So it means you are getting a spiritual investment for lifetime, and this you can pay by installments also. So not now. So many people say, oh, once I become old, I'll read, or once I retired, I'll read. You know, all kinds of answers. I turn on the lights, so I don't give money to you. Okay, give me tomorrow. So don't worry. Or else you go to a hospital, you say, I got please give some medicine. You see lights are on or off, right? So we just need to make them little urgent and important. So not here at the temple. Everybody say temple has come to you. And say, how come? I said, yeah, we're all devotees, we go. And also I say, if you come to temple, I won't be there, you know. So nobody, if you come to temple, we'll be out. All of us will go out on Sankirtan. Only Madan Mohan and Ramanand Prabhu will give Srimad. He'll give the Bhagavatam set if you come to temple. And you know, like that we say, just to make them happy. So Krishna sees sincere efforts. Of course, at the end of the day, Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana, and you know, he's like, you know, he sees your sincere efforts. Even there will be a bad and good days. One time I asked Vaisheshika Prabhu, you know, Prabhuji, we had a great day. He said, you know, Sankirtan Krishna is seeing your sincere efforts. Yesterday in the class he said, the check mark will be there if you distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. Please try, you know. So I'm sure definitely people, they can take in the buses. We put in stop signs, distributed Bhagavatams. There you can read the history. It works, you know. So please, he will see the sincere efforts. At a glance, we can give this card later, right, Mataji? So now it's question and answers part. So I would request Malini Mataji also join. We can ask questions and answer. So. Yes, Prabhu.
Could you please tell about when they say no time? You said we need to mention about urgency. Right. No, I'm not pretty clear.
So usually I say that just read one page. Everybody do like a puja at their house, and they say just read one page. Just read one shloka, and we also said read translations. Read translations for next 1 week or 2 weeks, like that. So then they will be very comfortable.
Do you have a way to replicate how you set up that database for knowing all the locations that you've gone or all the locations you want to go and the Excel document and everything?
So every school is different, every city is different, right? So what you can do is you work with the local people in your congregation and find out what is the best schools in the area. And also, is that I'm answering the right question? Software. Oh, you want a software?
She wants the program.
Oh.
So you have to get her the program before she leaves.
Okay. Okay, we don't have any software like that, but we can help you how we did it. So okay. We have a spreadsheet, Google Sheet, where with all the locations like that. So do you have any recommendations for us? Use Help or something to find out the location, or?
I don't know. I'm doing research right now on like the whole DC community, and it's so big that I'm trying to figure out how to split up the city, and that I do need to get the whole community involved. It's just like getting everyone together to talk to like all of the information that we know to come together to figure out who lives where and how to break up the parts. Yeah.
So we have a software. We just started a Sankirtan app where we actually are collecting all the information that we get from the devotees in different spots, and we put them in the database. And eventually that will put us marks on what are all the areas that you covered. That is one aspect of it, but if you're looking for which locations to pick, which would be good, then that actually we go by school districts. And the best way usually to find out a good location is ask for referral. Like devotee community lives in that area, so you can ask if this area, how is it? And also, devotees can also ask their colleagues, their friends. Our devotee Shivakumar Prabhu, he asked everybody around, like, can you tell me where do you live? And he just makes a note of that location. And then we pick the locations like that, but we will give you that application which records all the locations in the database before you leave.
And you have the same for follow-up as well?
Yes,
kind of
the follow-up app is in progress. It should be coming out soon, but it would be part of the same app, just another add-on to that as a follow-up.
Okay. Can I ask another question? A last question?
Sure.
For the Gomatsya and distributing Bhagavatams, for people that don't come to the temple and like maybe they're reading it on their own and things like that, how do you... I know follow-up would help, but how do you help with them understanding, like from my reading the Bhagavatam, some of the parts I'm like, oh, like that doesn't really sit well with me. Or like, okay, so I just read Canto 3 and I think it was chapter 24, verse 5, and it just says women are less intelligent. So being able to like give someone a Bhagavatam, but then be able to like follow up with them and explain to them so that they don't, I don't know, like, you know, like.
We'll request Vaisheshka Prabhu can.
Well, it's important to have ongoing personal classes. Like Shraddha Devi Dasi has a regular class online on the phone. She has about 15 people that get on every week. And the only way to help people understand all the details and the juxtaposition of the different eras of culture and how they all come together is by having personal guidance. And so you have to have regular classes that people can join into, and you can do that online. It's best if there's one or two people who are competent, who can walk people through the various things. And when people develop trust in a particular person as a Shiksha Guru, then they're able to accommodate all the different points because they have trust in that person. They say, well, if it's okay with this person, it's okay with me. And so it's a very personal philosophy. Although we distribute the books and we want them to read them and become enlightened by that, it also requires personal guidance. So you can set that up. It's not that difficult with technology to have regular classes, and those kinds of people can join the group and get the regular guidance. That's the best way.
Just to add, Valimardhan Prabhu recently started a group called Pearls of Srimad Bhagavatam. So people will, half an hour, just an interactive session. They can join in a conference call as Vaisheshka Prabhu suggested, and they can ask questions. And you can also personally train them if they have that questions. And Vaisheshka Prabhu also told that in Toronto they have a reading club. People will come, right Prabhu? Is that a reading club?
Yes. They have a regular session where they read the Bhagavatam out loud and people can come and sit and listen, and it's also broadcast live. And that really helps people to take in the vibration, and if they have questions, they can be answered in that forum. They're doing it in Denver now too. I think Shamya Prabhu is regularly reading out loud and online. Keshav Bharti Maharaj is also doing, he has just started live streaming his classes. He has a vow that he will read Prabhupada's books, at least 41 pages a day, out loud, every day for the rest of his life, without fail. And then he recently started live streaming it also. So now his vow, he told me yesterday, is to read 41 pages of Prabhupada's books out loud and live streamed at the same time, till the end of his life. He won't. And so it's important to have devotees constantly reading the books, and then when you have those forums, you can invite people into them, And it lifts the whole community, and then it invites people into that environment. And within that environment, then they can meet devotees and ask these personal questions and get them answered. There's a lot of context, too. Recently, when I was at the GBC meetings in Mayapur, a group called the Shastric Advisory Committee joined us for a couple hours, and they talked about ways in which to deal with all these various points that come up, very sticky points, because the context is very much necessary, and the study of hermeneutics. How do you interpret various things that you read within the Srimad Bhagavatam? And those who are teaching the Bhagavatam need to have an awareness of how to present those particular points so that people can understand them and assimilate them. Just as much as SKP has a chart that says, if they say this, you say that. That's for the selling part. And then for the part where they're consuming it themselves, you also have to have ways in which you deal with people's particular cultural differences or conundrums in reading the philosophy, and that can be done. And that's called the lifetime study of the Bhagavatam and teaching Bhagavatam too. You learn all those things and it becomes part of your repertoire. So you can do that, and you can also empower other people in your team to do that as well. And it's a holistic approach to teaching Bhagavatam. Not that we just drop off the Bhagavatam at their house and leave them, but we also have to know what's in it ourselves and understand the context and be able to bring people into it. You can do. Hare Krishna. Come on, if you're going to clap a little louder. That's Bhakti and Stephanie, by the way, is heading up the program in Washington, D.C., taking a lead role in organizing the book distribution there, which is a huge thing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have one question. Thank you for sharing your experiences and guidance for us. One question what I have that, do you come across with any like non-Indian person or family? Like how do you deal with them?
Devotees also distributed to Shraddha Mataji, distributed to one person. But when we knock the door, we see is a non-Indian. We just change the flip side. We say that we are coming from yoga center. We're giving books about yoga and meditation. And we also find out their interest. If they are interested in Mahabharata, they say some words, right? Oh, I read Bhagavad Gita. So we'll just show Bhagavatam, but we don't spend much time. We give the Bhagavad Gita and make it short and give a POI, some books to them, and then ask them to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So that's
Did anybody take Bhagavatam set?
Yeah, you can say. Yes, they took it, Mata.
They took it, okay. Yeah. That's we found the most challenging part. Yes. We had some.
Yeah, I mean, actually, when SKP Prabhu was showing the presentation, there was a lady, there was a Chinese lady with Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is even more difficult to sell. So they themselves, so they had distributed that going door to door, and there have been instances where even Muslims will take the book from you. It's just that you have to present it in the right manner. Use terms again more like Krishna, more like spiritualism, God, and things like that, rather than taking names. And sometimes you just pamper their ego and tell them that you really like the fact that they are so open-minded, and that works and that helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just add that people assimilate the philosophy and the books in their own time scale. So oftentimes when a Westerner who doesn't have the same awareness of saints, of scripture, we may be able to convince them to take a Bhagavad Gita, and then from there they start coming and associating with devotees, and then from there they take the Srimad Bhagavatam set. So we're finding that Westerners, when they come and they get accommodated and they're aware of the context of Krishna consciousness, they start studying it, and then they take the Srimad Bhagavatam set. So it's not that we don't distribute sets to Westerners, it's just not as much door to door. We're finding that it's a little too abrupt for them. But once they take a couple more steps and they come to the temple and they start, or whatever Sangha, even if it's not the temple, they're coming to other areas where they can associate and feel at home, then they become acquainted with Bhagavatam and then they take it into their house. But one of the ways in which we talk about the Bhagavatam and being part of ISKCON in general, when people want to know what's the next step, and oftentimes people, they start to develop faith in the tradition and in ISKCON in particular, and Prabhupada and his followers, they'll say, what can I do next? We often tell them, chant rounds, and we also say, keep these books in your house. You can keep the full set of books. It's a part of being a follower of Prabhupada is to keep his books. And that's something that is readily taken up by everybody who comes forward that many steps and appreciates ISKCON and Prabhupada.
I just wanted to second what Prabhu was saying, that recently when we were on Chaitanya Charitamrita, we had Gaur Purnima MSF. I was with Malini Mataji and we were just on door to door, and there was one little boy who opened the door. His name was David. And so we, as soon as we met him, we were not too sure, Mataji so nicely, she opened the book and she said, this is a biography of a saint. And she talked about Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then he said, oh, I have something like that with me already. And then then we said, do you want to call your parents? So his dad came in and he said, hold on. I have a book like that. So he went inside and he got a chant and be happy. He said, I got this at school. And then Malini said that, do you know George Harrison? And then both the dad and son were so happy that we talked about George Harrison. He said, yes, we know him. We love his songs. And, it started like that. And George Harrison followed a master. And this book is the biography of that master. And he was like, wow, really? And then they started listening about Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then he said he worked at Apple, and he said, I have a lot of other Indian friends, but I knew that George Harrison was following a spiritual path from India. And then I said, would you like to have a set? And she said, yeah, how much does it cost? So we said, it's 100. I think he gave about 80 or something, and he said, is that okay? She said, yeah, absolutely. So he did take the set, and consequently next house was also an American. And well, I just personally felt that it was so easy for them to accept Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is $100, when it compares to $250 for Srimad Bhagavatam. And I'm sure there are many devotees who did Bhagavatam as well. But I just felt that with the conviction, and Mahaprabhu was already there in their house as chant and be happy. And the other person he said, I'm very open to any of these, but I can't afford so much. So I think in that sense, if they are really open, I think we didn't push as much for, getting the whole Lakshmi. Whatever they could give, $50, $60, $400. I just wanted to add that. And I think it's just, I felt that because Malini was there, it happened. Thank you.
Prabhu, here.
Prabhuji, so when we go to door-to-door book distribution, we have some priorities. Let's say, for example, I start speaking about a Bhagavatam set, and if they're not interested, I'll go back to, do you go back to the Bhagavad Gita? And if they're still not interested, you go back to the SSR? Or how do you set what order that you follow? If you could please.
No, you already told the answer. We just say, if they're interested, they're not interested in Srimad Bhagavatam, so we'll do Krishna book. Krishna book is part of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it having 48 images, 90 stories. You can tell, okay, this is a Krishna book, you can start with this. And so we used to give one canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, but even though they are not interested in Krishna book, then we'll go for the POY, Perfection of Yoga, small books. So we just, as Vaisheshika Prabhu said, we have other book for you. Just show to them, then they will definitely take it. But when you go with Bhagavatam, you should carry only Bhagavatam in the hands. If you have other books, so I'll go with the other small book. So you should, means this is psychology, So you present it Bhagavatam, if they are completely, the doors are closed, then you give the Krishna book. So I always put Krishna book in the bag. So it's easy, one book, and they know, right? So like that. Thank you. So nothing.
So Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, in our temple, right, there are a lot of Spanish devotees, but they do not have money to buy Srimad Bhagavatam when the cost is really high.
Yeah.
So in such cases, right, Mataji was also telling that they gave $80, but our temple do not let them set at a lower price. So how do we go with that?
So we have a Shastra Dan, like Vaisheshika Prabhu every year, like quarterly we do, like in the temple, raise donations for the books, and we set that money separately for sponsorships. If anybody interested, like Bhadra Purnima is coming, you can ask congregation. Even though you have Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many students are there. They don't have much money, but they are interested to read. And you found out their names, and you tell the people, this is what we are interested to do, and they will definitely support. So you can raise donations to give the books for them as a free, or they can give whatever they want. Like that. You understood?
Yeah, so we collectively get some sponsors and use that money to sponsor the Shastras.
Yes. Yeah.
Please. Actually, in our community, there are so many devotees who just want to give. One door we went, a person was very, very interested, but he did not have money to pay for the books. So there is a devotee called Prasanjit Prabhu. He says, Mataji, if he wants to have books, just give him, Mataji, I'll pay for it. So there are so many devotees who may not be able to go out for the book distribution, but willing to contribute in this way. So you can engage your entire community in distributing Bhagavatam sets. Personally, they may not be there at the spot, but we could be using. And the other thing is also installments is another option. Like Sukheshwari was mentioning yesterday, that they can pay over a year, like $10, $20, whatever they can. We can set up installment payments for them too. So that's another option.
One last. So when you give the first canto, how do you, if they're interested only in the first book, how do you handle the remaining books in the set?
So we usually don't break the set. So first canto part 1 is a BBT book that you get. That it has first 7 chapters of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So those are the books that we give out. And your question is if you give only one book, how will they come back for the rest of it? Few months ago, there was this lady who only took one book when she came to the temple. Somebody asked for Bhagavatam. She never took the entire set, but she took only one book. Next time when we went, and when we knocked the door, she said, I already have a Bhagavatam. And I was wondering how. And then the son came running out. And then he said, this is my book. And she said the son liked it so much. And then she said, I want to buy the rest of the Bhagavatam. So she took the entire set. So we have to have some patience with these kind of, these are not usually this happens, but there are some people who want to try, test, and then they'll come back to the temple.
Usually sometimes they even though they bought Bhagavad Gita, they say they will say we got Bhagavatam. And I remember Kameshwari Matas, can you show it to me? So they'll go and bring them. Oh, this is not Bhagavad Gita, we have a Bhagavatam, like that. So people they want to escape, so they'll say like that. The last question, because Prabhu's session is there. And we'll be available later to talk. So.
I just want to, I think Vaisheshika Prabhu said it kind of, but I want to clarify that I understood. So when anyone comes to the temple and if they're just on reading Bhagavad Gita and they're on chapter 2, but they're wondering how to maybe serve deities in their home or something, and how you're saying everyone should have sets in their home. So could they have sets in their home even if they're not reading them yet because they're just on Bhagavad Gita? So in a way you could preface it to them as like your deities could be the Bhagavatam even though you're not reading it, and then they would buy it in that way?
Very much so.
Okay.
The act of physically putting the books in one's home changes the environment, and it requires a kind of commitment. They have to be ready for it, or at least on the precipice of that, and then you can encourage them to do that, and it makes a big difference. In fact, you'll read in the Nectar of Devotion that those who keep and respect Vaishnava literatures in their homes are worshipping a deity in their home, and those homes are respected by the devas. Those homes become tirthas because they keep and respect Vaishnava literatures. So it's part of our culture to keep the physical form of the literature itself and to worship it. Mahaprabhu did it, and so did his followers. They kept them, and when people do that, you'll find that they feel more connected with Krishna.
I think
yeah, we are getting late, so we are going field trips after the program, so you can come with all of us. So everybody in this room are very capable to do Srimad Bhagavatam, so we have enough time to ask more questions. I would suggest new people can associate with other devotees and leaders here. They can understand, they can take to their temples back. So thank you very much. Thanks for this opportunity, Vaisheshika Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Srikrishna Purushottama Prabhu, for the wonderful presentation. When you see him in action, you will be mesmerized. So if you get an opportunity, please try to go with Prabhu.